Live. Cue the jingle bells. Jing, jing, jing. Okay. I didn't realize that I did the previous video in October, actually. So I guess I should have done this video last week and prior to the Thanksgiving holiday, Black Friday sales, and Cyber Monday right now. So many of you are shopping and not watching this, but maybe you still don't know how to, coordinate your colors for the season or something, and you'll still watch this. Even though some of these will be the same shirts that I showed in the last video that got a reasonable amount of views, I guess. But first, of course, I have to go into the side tangent, and which is shirts that aren't actually flannel shirts, which is sport shirts, basically. But and I've showed these before, I think, or whatever. You can get kind of a Christmassy color in certain shirts that aren't brushed flannel, soft like these ones, and aren't really. And a lot of times, what people are going to do is not even get a texture like this or a pattern. They're going to get a white shirt or something and just pair it with, a festive-looking tie. Not all tartans are as festive. Some are more festive than others, or in terms of holiday colors. And of course, as I said in I think 2 videos already or something, yeah, the holiday is this kind of wedge plunk right in the middle of autumn and winter, where we kind of feel obligated to put away our autumn stuff that we've waited all year to wear. And especially I'm in California, where we have a really, really short autumn, and it's actually been, not all consistently cool temperatures to even want to wear a flannel shirt. This morning is a bit more chilled, but about 2 hours, I won't be wearing this again. Anyway, what I was saying, some tartans being, like this one, you could get away with it. It's got, blue instead of green. So it doesn't necessarily look as good, and it's also not a flannel shirt. Like I said, it's a sport shirt. So depending on how, festive you want to look over the top. Again, now a lot of people, will pair that with, a sweater. This might be too bold and bright for most of your normal use, but I could easily put this sweater over this shirt, of course, but most people won't put sweaters over a flannel shirt for looks because the pattern is big and bold or whatever, or they might just be too warm, depending. Your results may vary, of course, but if we're going to talk about sweaters briefly, of course, a Fair Isle sweater is a great holiday choice, but would look much better with that first shirt with the smaller checks than 2 contrasting patterns fighting with each other. So that should be obvious. Whereas then again, of course, if you're going to go with the sleeves instead of the vest, or the full cable will be a little more festive than some sweaters. A shaker sweater will be all right. But of course, I also have the red one, and I have a yellow one that I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to spend all day on sweaters. But of course, if you're wearing a sweater, then your pattern here won't matter so much. And before Christmas, if we're going to just focus on Christmas specifically, like I said, I would not typically wear this kind of stuff for Thanksgiving nor for New Year's, right? For New Year's, well, I don't get invited to tuxedo parties where it's black tie, but you might still want to look somewhat festive depending on your mood or whatever. But pre-holiday and post-holiday, we'll discuss color schemes a little bit more in a minute. This is a wool blend, so it's also technically not a true flannel, but here it's a bit subtle. Again, I could pair this with something red and get, it's more of a burgundy and a salmon than a true red, so it's very, very subtle. But this kind of thing works very well, but again, technically wool shirts are flannel shirts, but we classify Pendleton and that kind of thing slightly separately from cotton flannels. So of course I've done at least one video about wool shirts already. You can check that out separately. I didn't intend for this to be completely conclusive or definitive or all, encompassing. Here's another kind of pretty one that I've worn before. Works very well, very subtle. Again, I can put a green or a red vest over this. This is a little closer to a true flannel, but it's got kind of a, I don't know if the weave is different or if it's just that it's a softer brush. I would say that is a true flannel shirt, but it's not as pilled. You can get the more refined ones, the LL Bean Wicked ones and the moleskin ones. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is one of the Wicked ones where the weave is, again, a little more patriotic, a little more nautical, a little more red, white, and blue. You could pull this off. I don't know if or how you should try to integrate green into this or just go with it and pretend that nobody will notice that it's blue. Again, if you're on a super budget, tight, then having a week or two worth of festive flannels might not be your thing. You might just want to have one really overly festive thing or whatever that you wear on the day and save the rest for what you actually intend to wear to work and such. But the ones, let's see, I had showed these before last month. Again, where we still can have autumn winter crossover or autumn holiday crossover with something like this, or even something like this where we have a little bit more neutral, a little bit more blue. But if we put like a green accent of some sort with it, it would definitely work a bit easier than this, even though the colors are almost the same. But certainly, again, for New Year's, this would be perfectly fine for New Year's if you're going to something not, too fancy. Whereas this would look a little bit more work aesthetic, or just, a little too much earth tones for a real party kind of vibe, I guess. Or, I don't know. I think you know what I'm saying. Whereas this, of course, is kind of crisp and preppy. You could wear this almost year round in several different situations. But of course, in warmer weather, you won't want this fabric, but you could still have a cotton thing with a similar pattern and be, very summery. And then just to get this out of the way, something like this, which is a shirt jack with a heavy interior, but still with the flannel exterior. I don't get as much use out of this in the autumn, again, because like I said, the weather is a bit too warm here most of the time. So, but with something this kind of dark and moody, I would save this until after the holiday. I know a lot of you just want your hunter plaid and your hunter check, and that's what you're going to go with. So of course, if nobody's familiar with the most iconic buffalo check, again, this one, some of you will already have started wearing in autumn, but I would wear not until late December or January, typically. So yeah, again, going back to what we were talking about in the last video, shirts that I already showed. I'm positive I've showed this one like twice, but again, a very bright festive tartan, but also autumny, but it does have blue in it. The counter to him is, where is he hiding? This, of course, is the Buchanan that has the blue with the white stripe, whereas it's based on Macmillan, which, of course, LL Bean did a great job making this more burgundy and yellow, darker yellow, not quite mustard, then super bright, whereas here we've got a little more of the ancient colors with the orange instead of the red and the bright yellow. So you can see they're not the exact same tartan as people will often mistake in public. So again, this one a little bit better, closer to the holiday or after the holiday than even necessarily an autumn shirt. Whereas this one, yeah, you can start wearing this in October and nobody will bat an eye. because it'll transition just fine all the way through. Unless, of course, for some reason you know, don't want to wear another Clan's tartan or something like that, then fine, whatever. If that's a problem for you, then there's, of course, always made-up generic, not real tartans, like the one I'm wearing and this one, which, again, a great autumn transition shirt, way more than this one, which is why I wore this one for the video, because it screams Christmas. This one, of course. But see, then again, but this and the Macmillan and probably this one. This is not an actual, I don't know, this is an LL Bean tartan again. These, great, but stuff I would not necessarily wear so much after New Year's into winter because they look very holiday specific. Whereas this, on the other hand, which you've seen me wear on this channel if you've watched half of my videos from last year or whatever, I will wear this autumn through winter, no problem, early winter. And then around February, this gets retired and replaced by the other stuff that I'll talk about in a moment. Same with anything like this. Again, a great after Christmas shirt going through to February-ish. Perfect for that. Even better. I have a black one somewhere. I didn't bother to dig it out because won't need it for another month or at all, since I have all these other ones. I did get this new one, probably a bit gratuitous, but it's the green one instead of the black one. I don't know if you can even see that. This one, no, that's the worst side of the bag. Okay, Bean just came out with these, and I had to have it, of course, because perfect. Even better than the gray one, right? Which is more January and less December. Oh no, here's the black one. What do you know? Okay, exact same thing. Haven't worn it yet. That I got last year, I think, or the year before. Because like I said, yeah, the gray ones I wear a bit more than these. I buy these just because I just absolutely adore them. But again, we have not Minnesota winter here, so some of the stuff is worn more than other stuff. And then of course the ultimate wannabe Santa shirt, the red Stuart Royal tartan, which of course I would not wear this in October unless I was going to a Scottish kind of event. Just the same as I wouldn't wear this much in October, though. Again, so yeah, talking, again, if you wanted to wear something, you got these oatmeal or gray. Sometimes it'll be, you can find different colors. Some colors will be more festive than others, but something neutral like this, again, would pair very well. Most people won't wear a tie with a flannel shirt, but if you were going to wear a tie with a flannel shirt like they used to do back in 1920 or whatever, you could pull that off. This one has some nice brown contrast buttons instead of bright white buttons. If you get something that has bright white buttons, you might want to take the extra time and replace those. And then, of course, the recurring problem I have, again, similar to the shirt jack that I was showing, is I get these beautiful autumn things in heavier weight fabric that I can't wear in autumn. And so whether or not I would wear this in January, I don't know. I have other ones that are less pumpkin spice and less wonderful and less soft and less cozy and all that, but they'll get worn before that one does. Yeah, here's one. Like this one. See, right at, again, a little too much of this going on for really dressy. I wouldn't even put this in the office casual category like some of the other ones. But this is a definite after Christmas through January warm. Is this a Woolrich? Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the Woolrich ones before they started to make everything the wrong size. So yeah, this one's a large. I should still be able to get a good amount of use out of this one this year. It's unlike some of the other ones I had squirreled away. Again, this See, it's bright and it's autumny, but this could also be a good winter shirt. This one, and then with the gold and the green, you put this with some red accents or whatever, you've got a pretty good holiday shirt. All in all, a nice find, but it does have a poly blend, so I wasn't too crazy about that. I don't like the fit, but it was only $17. So definitely a lot cheaper than the Orvis one that may never, ever get worn. So the thing I like to really do, well, okay, let's talk about these first. Get these out of the way. Similar to your other buffalo check, this is just an ombre version of a hunter check. So again, a very deep winter January shirt. This one even a thicker fabric than the typical LL Bean stuff. So I paid a little extra to get that one. So maybe this year that one will get more use than the other one. And then we'll do this one after that. Similar, this one is one of those ones though where, because it's not bright red, I consider this an autumn version, but also obviously a winter version of hunter check, but in a much lighter weight fabric, but still brushed, not a sport shirt. Whereas most of the shirts I have from Orvis are sport shirts, this one being one of their true flannel shirts. They cost a bit more than the bean ones, and I don't know if they wear better because I haven't really had a chance to wear their flannel shirts more than their sport shirts. So, can't quite give a total good assessment of those. Whereas, of course, the J.C. Penney shirts, this one being an autumn or winter, again, you could try and get away with this with the holidays, but it's I'm not sure if that's blue or black, but with the white, your results may vary. Again, I wouldn't wear this on Christmas Day, but the day after, sure. But again, in November, if it was colder, yes. But this fabric, I mean, once it's been washed enough, it starts off nice, but it really does start to feel like sandpaper compared to those Land's Ends one I showed in the last video. I didn't bring one of those oh yeah, I did. It was in the bag though. But I like the fit of the JCPenney ones better overall. But the Land's Ends ones are much more plush, blah, blah, blah. Again, same thing. One that could be a holiday if you're going to put something green with it to offset the black. But more austere, a bit more of a winter look for me to, than even autumn. Although you could pair this with autumn stuff too. You could go, depending on how I know there's a style guide, but I didn't bring in any burgundy corduroy trousers. Again, because you're not necessarily going to want bright red pants. So instead, I've got a sweater here, and of course the light doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, the red stripe and the burgundy, you could kind of pair it like that. But burgundy is a little moody for, again, a festive color. So again, post holiday. I know I'm showing these upside down. Well, it's easier. Okay, but that's just a V-neck. But if I paired that with, back to sport shirts, again, a bold pattern that you might want to cover that with the thing. Whereas this one is so over the top. I love it. I haven't worn those ones yet because, of course, I still have the bean one, which is not flannel at all. It's one of their wrinkle-free deals. So these ones are kind of waiting in the wings because I have already that other shirt. Some of them, on the other hand, like I said, you could wear this in autumn, but it's preponderance of black. And so I would save this for after New Year's. This is, a winter shirt, an early winter shirt through a late winter shirt, maybe. But again, usually by midwinter, we're starting to think about spring. And of course, I want to get more into green than red. And of course, the other holiday in March that we've discussed, I'm sure. Consequently or subsequently, or also, of course, I've mentioned something like this or black watch with no brown in it, with only the blue and the green. I would also save for midwinter through spring, and not. I could wear this in autumn because it has the brown in it, and I probably have. Other versions less so, and again, I'm not being comprehensive, so I didn't bring all those shirts in. But again, something like this, on the other hand, if you only are a guy who only wears blue, then you're just going to wear blue and nothing's going to stop you. But again, I would consider this a winter, not so much an autumn, and pretty much not a holiday at all. Sure. Especially when you have like 30 other options for stuff that is holiday. But if you're a guy who only wears blue, then I guess, this might be as far as you're going to meet us. I don't know. You might want to expand your horizon slightly, but again, something like this would be a little bit better for a holiday than a really dark navy. And I think that's about all the blue I have lying around here. Or this. And then, of course, something this green. I'm going to show you. I could wear for the holidays, again, if I was going to pair it with something else. But typically I save green until late February, that kind of thing. Depending on, some green is darker than others. Sage being, to me, more of a spring fabric color than a January fabric color, although you can integrate, you can do. I guess I should say that sage would be close to this again in color. And so, like I said, you can use sage around the holidays, and I have used that for the holidays. Like I said, depending on what you're pairing it with. Again, most trousers, I'm not going to do all pants in this video, but most trousers you've got like green, dark green, brown, tan, beige, blue, navy, black, red, burgundy, not. And then in autumn colors, you got like rust and orange-ish. And then you've got, I suppose there's yellow pants out there that are strictly a summer thing. So yeah, it narrows down pretty fast. And then, of course, gray and charcoal. So if you already have gray and charcoal pants, they'll pair really well with, burgundy stuff or green and gray stuff. And if you have blue pants, they'll pair, pretty well with some of your red and blue stuff. Obviously, really red and blue stuff, this would look better with a pair of chinos to me than a pair of jeans. And specifically, dark wash jeans will be too dark of a wrong color entirely. A pair of new dad jeans in indigo would be better slightly, but not as good as a more nautical blue. IMO, as they say. Whereas this, of course, pairs with jeans. This is a shirt that's meant to go with jeans, but can also be worn with khakis, or even gray, corduroy or something. It's not all, only this can be worn with this ever. Sometimes you have more options than that, but unless you're going to collect specific holiday pants, which, like I said, I have a few, but not a ton. Mostly, again, in either burgundy or I have some like green moleskin ones that, again, would go good with this kind of thing, but I don't usually wear them until later in the season because it's not cold yet. And wearing moleskin pants in early December is, even more of a challenge than corduroy most of the time. And some of you already have 6 feet of snow or something, and you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Okay. You're already wearing snow pants and bibs and, yeah, wool shirts. But that's life. And of course, you don't have to watch this video only now, and only you can always use this video for, in the future instead of only today. If you already have your winter clothes today, but you just don't like the way they even look, then next year you can have better winter clothes, right? Okay. So don't shop for too much extra junk, and don't get too cold in the next 3 weeks or whatever. And I do want to apologize that I didn't say this at the beginning. I meant to, obviously boots. I did order other things, and some things didn't come in yet with the holidays and the lag time and I don't know, this Arctic snows are affecting shipping in certain places yet or not. Where is it? Michigan east, Pennsylvania for sure. Places that are already having, shipping issues and that sort of thing. So more videos to come, although if you've already done your shopping this year, then you won't care, but maybe you'll watch them anyway. Care a little bit. I don't know. So, all right, that was, probably long enough. I don't need to go overboard with this because, like I said, I just did a flannel shirts video and I did a different shirts video before. So, as always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And I don't know what questions you could really have about flannel shirts in specific, but maybe there's things I'm not thinking of that you feel need to be addressed. So that would be fine.